einu sinni, en ekki?
How does Iceland sound?
Iceland sounds quite cold.
Warm and fuzzy, but also really cold.
It's very diverse, and so is the sound of Iceland.
I think Iceland brings a lot of different and unique sounds.
Like sinus waves and like sub.
To me, Icelandic nature sounds quiet. I imagine vast areas of nothing. Or like really loud eruptions or waterfalls.
Yeah, I think the perfect sound for that would be small stones on very thinly frozen water. It's a very beautiful sound, very like we play a lot with it.
I would say, of course, windy.
You can always like hear the wind.
There's always like a thing going on.
Yeah, some eerie.
Right, you open the door, open the door outside, then there's always like a thing going on. Right?
Nature can be very still, very beautiful, but it can be very aggressive.
It's hostile, it's harsh.
It's really raw and clear sounding.
I find it often sounds very peaceful.
Yeah, like the weather. It's really raw and clear.
Either super quiet or super loud.
It's like the manic swings between seasons and working in darkness and inside. I'd say that would be the Icelandic sound. There are very different sounds that come from making music in winter and making music in the summer.
If you write a song in the winter and then you work on it in the summer, it's an interesting, balance between the both, I think.
Spring and autumn, they don't really exist, it's just a glimpse.
Autumn is, sounds like some kind of a drum.
For our second album, we did all the work in the winter, and you can hear it in the album. It's all kind of closed and kind of reverby, and
everything is slower and time is different. The pace of these seasons make a different way of interpreting music and making music.
I also always just feel more inspired during winter when you're like kind of locked in your house during this like super snowy outside.
I would say I'm more creative in the fall and spring when everything is either coming to life or dying.
Can't figure out spring because that is just like just super joy.
When Mammút makes music in the winter, it always gets slower and slower and slower. And by the point that our drummer is like can we please speed this up? It's just like nature and weather affects everything when you live in the North Atlantic Ocean.
You cannot not be inspired by nature in Iceland.
You actually have a daily conversation with the weather and daily argument, and like all of your actions are controlled by it.
There is a part of the nature and part of the culture that lets you be free to do whatever you want to do. There is no one telling you how you should sound like or how you should portray your art in any way.
Spirit of Iceland.
The country itself is like like a sleeping volcano mammal mother.
This weird landscape of nothingness, and I think a lot of the Icelandic spirit has to do with these harsh landscapes.
The spirit is it's so free. I think that would be the word. It's free.
Like full force ahead, but not really like reading the manual.
Going for it and not being afraid to fail.
Say never give up, and very optimistic, sometimes too optimistic.
I've always experienced Iceland as like an underdog.
There's always this feeling of like wanting to fight the big one, the big brother.
Just the resilience and how strong people are in the belief that you can just do anything. And I think it's a kind of a national philosophy in many ways.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Og bara, þú veist.